I'm joined at this moment by Professor Sandeep Shastri, Dr. Sandeep Shastri, to tell us how this will play out politically or electorally. But before that, Sanjay Jha, you want to respond to what you heard from Tuhin Sinha. He says this is a moment to celebrate, and when you celebrate unifiedly. You don't decline invitations at times like this.
I want to tell my friend Tuhin Sinha, भगवान राम हम सबके हैं, आप उनको हड़पने की कोशिश न करें. आप इस महान धर्म के न रखवाले हैं न ठेकेदार हैं. और सबसे बड़ी बात, Rajdeep, we always forget it in the hour of celebration, but Tuhin Sinha's party needs to smell the coffee and tell the people of India what happened after the Babri Masjid demolitions. He talks of riots. We all know how many innocent people died, both Hindu and Muslims, after the Babri Masjid demolition. And we know who's responsible for it. What about Gujarat 2002? What about Muzaffarnagar 2013? What about Delhi riots 2020? What about Manipur 2023? Which political party had a hand in all of them, Tuhin Sinha? Look in the mirror, my friend. Please look in the mirror. Don't try and bluff what I believe is an enlightened audience.
No, but the fact is, Sanjay Jha, over the last 25 years, we've seen the BJP has become a dominant party in the Hindi heartland, and one of the factors that propelled the BJP to power was the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. So there will be those who will say that the Congress is out of touch with the reality on the ground. The reality is the political Hindu is now a factor in Indian politics.
Well, I agree with you completely that the Congress party's inability, when L.K. Advani called India's secularism or the Congress as pseudo-secular, I think the Congress allowed that to get into people's minds. It's become, very much calcified in people's thinking that the Congress is only when it is actually taking care of the minority communities, it is doing so for a vote bank. But I believe, and in any mature civilized society, if I can borrow the word civilized from Tuhin Sinha, it's the job of the majority community to take care of those who are in the minority. That's the way any society actually emancipates itself. To say that you are taking care of the minorities is only for votes is a perception that I think the Congress has allowed that to become, extremely calcified to its own political annihilation. And more importantly, yes, I'm not going to deny that the Congress party is at times played very opportunistic politics, and you pay a price. But for not being able to actually counterattack the BJP and put things in perspective, I think the Congress party has to look within. For example, if you look at the data, Rajdeep, on jobs in the government, in the armed forces, in the civil services, and general level of education, the Muslims are worse off than any minority community in India. And yet the minority appeasement tag works. So, I mean, this is, I think, the failure of political communication to get the record straight.
I just want to say that the Congress has not sent its official representative on this debate because the Congress doesn't want to engage, they say, on the Ram Mandir issue. So it appears the Congress is caught, Sandeep Shastri, between a rock and a hard place. I'll come to you, Tuhin, in a moment for a final response, because the Congress party, Sandeep Shastri, since 1990, has found itself on the back foot in the Hindi heartland, especially in Uttar Pradesh. The BJP saw the Ram Janmabhoomi movement propel it to a dominant position in Indian politics. Do you believe by declining this invitation, the Congress is now open to the charge that the BJP will put that it's anti-Hindu in out of touch with the sentiments of political Hindus? Dr. Shastri.
Rajdeep, I think the Congress has had to walk on the edge. If it is seen as moving slightly towards the left, it would be thrashed by the pro-Hindutva forces. If it is seen as moving a little to the right, it would disturb the support that it has from the secularists. So the Congress finds itself in an extremely difficult situation and seems to have taken a stand that this is a Mandir's inauguration or a particular stage of the inauguration, and this is not something that needs to be converted into a government function is the stand they are taking, and they're hoping to be able to retain their electoral constituency that way. On the other hand, Rajdeep, I think we have seen in the last 9 years, the BJP has mastered the managing of the message, be it a political message or a non-political message, converting it all into a political message. Be it the new parliament inauguration, G20, or now what is going to happen on 22nd in Ayodhya. And that's where I think the BJP's strategy has been to try and make use of every opportunity that is made available to them. And this is something that the Congress and the alliance needs to counter. And the only
But
way
how
they
do you
could
counter
do
it? No, no,
is
but how do you counter it? The pitch has been prepared by the Congress. This is a pitch prepared by the BJP, rolled by the BJP. Mandir is their pitch. As you said, in the past, the Congress has tried to compete with it by playing soft Hindu politics. It's not worked. So the Congress needs a different strategy. One thing to decline the invitation, but then you're going to have to offer an alternative narrative, which is equally compelling. Professor Shastri.
You see, they have very diplomatically rejected the invitation, and it is going to have a fallout. There is no shadow of doubt in my mind that the ruling party will take it to the maximum stretch it can to project the opposition as being anti-Hindu. They would make the best use of this opportunity. And that's why I said, I think, how effectively does the Congress and the rest of the opposition make other issues the forefront issues in the campaign and let this issue be in the back burner, especially in certain parts of India where this may not be relevant at all, especially south of the Vindhyas. Maybe the impact of this would be in the Hindi heartland. And there too, my own sense is the BJP has already plateaued in terms of support gained from the Hindutva factor. So, in a sense, it will all depend on the counter strategy that the Congress and the opposition comes up with as to how effective it would be to shift the narrative away from what the BJP and the NDA would want it to be.
Tuhin Sinha,